Welcome, everybody. I want to talk about something very different, which is how we can, as a citizen of the global community, how we can think creatively to help solve big problems that help humanity, and especially how design and technology are perfect partners to nurture creative solutions. This is our world, and those green lines represent how much different websites are being used at this very moment. So it's a live view. If you look at the bottom, at this very moment, as I'm speaking, as you're watching, 78,469,000, and by the time I say it, the number's already changed. So that gives you an idea of the frenetic activity of what's happening in this living, breathing, evolving beast that we call the web and social media. That's the continent of Africa. And there's quite a dramatic difference, isn't there? Does that surprise you?
Look at it.
As I said, this is a live view of what's happening at this moment. Now, this is more than just accessing the web and watching cool videos and having a good time. This is access to information. Some argue that access to information is a human right. Access to information means education. Access to education means achieving human potential, doesn't it? So in terms of population, more than 1 billion people on our planet have zero access to any of this. 1 out of 7 people on the planet. But I wanted to share with you some examples of how design and technology can actually help solve that problem to a point where by the time maybe you're at the stage where I am in my career, we'll be at 99%. We'll have access to all of these things. I hope that's the case, and I hope I'm around to see it too. How many of you have been at a live concert or a live sporting event where you have a full stadium? Anybody? Can I see hands? I want you to think of that experience. So recently I went with my son to a performance. Lincoln Park was one of them, sitting in a stadium with 20,000 plus people. And my son and I were just like little specks amongst that vast crowd. And as I was enjoying the pulsating, energetic music, it occurred to me that there are moments when all of us as people, as citizens, experience things the same way at the same time. And that's the essence of crowdsourcing, of being able to do things as a whole community. And so in addition to enjoying things, you can solve things together. And this is one of the creative approaches. The group Lincoln Park created Music for Relief as a way to tap into that social media and all of the millions of fans and billions of views that are happening to solve these problems. This now is the group Lincoln Park taking it to the next level, which is social media and interacting with their fans is one thing, and these other bands. But what about video games? How many of you play video games? Quite a few, right? So you think of some of these platforms, these massive multiplayer online role-playing games. Again, they involve millions of people. They're having a lot of fun. They're interacting with one another. But that is a very powerful tool to help solve problems. And these guys, once again thinking creatively, came up with something that kind of blew me away. This game is all centered around solving problems to help bring electricity to communities that don't have it. So I actually tried this a little bit myself. Of course, I'm terrible at these games. My son should do it for me. But if you go through these various challenges, you collect points, and as you collect points, those can be used towards real money and funds that help these communities in need for electricity, and at the same time teaching the player about these global sustainability problems. The firm Saatchi & Saatchi, for example, established a competition for world-changing ideas, and this is one of my favorites, because they put out prizes for people to come up with any idea they could think of to solve big problems. And one of the ones I chose for this group is called LifeStraw. What I love about this is it's a simple solution to a very complex, overwhelming human problem. Illnesses like dengue, diarrhea, you name it, you can see the list of all those awful things that are in so much water around our planet. Someone designed a simple filtration device that is cheap to make, it's effective, and it can solve untold thousands of lives. This is another one of my favorites of bridging design and technology to solve a very significant problem for the planet. and that is something called socket, which is based on the soccer ball. How many of you play soccer? So you can appreciate what is going to be behind this invention. A patent was filed by, are you ready for this? 4 undergraduates who took a class and were inspired to make a difference. Those 4 undergraduates now have their own company.
An idea for clean energy that I think it's fair to say hardly anybody else on the planet had ever thought of. It's quite extraordinary, really. Kick a ball, turn on a light. It's an off-grid solution that gives us a way to bring power and improve quality of life, working capacity, learning capacity.
Yeah, I'm from Africa. I like the presentation that I saw concerning the map of Africa, and that is to tell me that with my coming back to school, I can be part of the generation that are going to improve in terms of skills to contribute to whatever it takes to make sure that the activities on internet increase.
I would love to see you be part of that, and anything I can do to help, I offer my assistance. Thank you for coming, and if you want to get more involved in any of these movements or efforts, you can find me on social media, and I'm always looking for creative approaches to how to solve these big problems. So thank you.